Hello YouTube, my name is Tina, and in case you are new to my channel, welcome. I am the Teacup teacher, and I am a 5th grade teacher on the coast of Maine. I recently taught in Alaska, but I moved back to the East Coast to be closer to my family where they live in New Jersey. So I wanted to film a little classroom tour for you. And with that being said, I would just like to preface this video by saying it is going into the 6th week of school. We had a field trip type outdoor science day thing this week, so it's been chaotic and we haven't had time to clean, but I think that's the best part about this classroom tour is it's real. It is about as real as it gets. My classroom is not perfect, it is messy, but it is lived in and it's loved. So I'm going to get started. I figured we would start over here by the door. I have a welcome mat that I picked up at Lowe's. I have a couple of decorations. This one I picked up from the Target dollar spot 2 summers ago, and these I picked up at Dollar Tree this year. This is a closet that I have right by the door. I will be hanging my coat in here once I start wearing one. This is also where I display our class Rainbow Shines, and what this is a reward system that our school uses, and I put it into place where if my class, normally they're for individuals, and I put it into place where if my students get a Rainbow Shine as a whole class, once they earn 10, we will have a whole class reward. And then this closet is a hodgepodge of stuff. This was all stuff that were thrown in other cabinets in the room, and it's all arts and crafts. There's some model clay and a couple of math manipulatives on this one. There's some random things I just threw in here that we use for different projects in here as well. And yeah, so there's that. And then this is our sink area. I have a student that needs to take those down next week, and that I picked up at Target in the Target dollar spot. That is new. I don't even know where that came from. Hi, I am Tina, and so down here is where I keep, oh my goodness, this is what happens when you let kids grab supplies. Down here I keep extra sandwich baggies, tissues, hand sanitizer, and soaps. And then up top here is where I keep our think before you speak, and it's supposed to say before you speak, social media or rights, but I kind of forgot. But anyway, it just says, is it helpful? Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? So I taped that up there. This is our bathroom pass system. I don't have them sign out because I teach 5th grade. I do feel that they are old enough to know when they can go. So I have 1 girl pass, 1 boy pass, and 1 nurse pass. Obviously, if there's an emergency, more than 1 goes. But if they are going to the bathroom, they just pick it up and they put it at their seat. That way, if I'm working with a small group, we also have hand signals. So if they're going like this, I know they need to use the bathroom. So if I see that, I can just nod. And if I see that, you know, someone has a placard at, or the frame, they call it the frame. If someone has the frame at their seat, they can't go. But they have that down. I don't even have to tell them, like, they got that the first day. This is my filing cabinet. This is where I keep all of my resources and copies and anything that I use. In here is all of our reading stuff. So I have it broken up into unit and weeks, and I have all of our spelling words already copied. And then I have our vocabulary cards and our focus wall items all in here. This one, investigations, is our math curriculum, so same thing. These are our math moves. I got those off TPT, and then different units that we will be doing. This is where I keep student data, but I won't open that because there's student names in there. And then this one is thematic units and where I keep extra bags for our math manipulatives. Over here is our calendar. It is no longer September. It is now October 4th. However, I'm sorry, this is open. It's driving me crazy. However, I don't remember where I stashed the dates and the months. So as soon as I find that, I will update that. But we don't really use calendar, so I just put it here. That way, at least we have something we can reference. That is the classroom to, or I'm sorry, that is the doorway to our 4th grade classroom. We are a buddy classroom, so if I have any behavior issues, I can send them over there to calm down. This is our 4th and 5th grade shared printer. We are the only classrooms in the building with printers, which is really nice. This is our class constitution. We wrote that on Constitution Day, and I was super proud of them because they came up with that completely 100% on their own. All I did was write it for them. This is our iPad cart, and I do need to back up because there are student names on the fronts of that. But what that is I cut a shoe rack down, and that's where they keep their headphones, and it is command stripped to the cart itself. A little bookmark that has their QR code along with all of their username and passwords that they keep right in their shoe, their little shoe case. This is where they do their lunch in the morning. And then all of their iPads are in here. I keep school issued headphones in case someone's breaks or they need them. I keep them in there. And some of them keep their Bluetooth headphones in here, that way they can charge. These are our schedule cards. So I bought a little container to hold all of this. However, it seemed to go missing. I'm pretty sure I accidentally threw it out. But this is just where I let our kids know what we're doing that day. And my kids are obsessed with time, and I'm not sure why, if it's all 5th graders, but they are obsessed with saying, Miss Moro, it's 10:30, it's snack time. So I have explained to them that that is just a rough schedule and that I run the clock does not run me. So we do morning circles, we do restorative circles in the morning, and then we have specials. And then we usually do math, snack, we do writing, and then mustard, ketchup, and pickles. Ketchup and pickles, I think Pocket Full of Primary started that. However, my kids added mustard because I have things that they must finish before they catch up on extra work and before they get to pick something, because we do intervention time at this time school-wide. Then they go to recess, lunch, reading, social studies, read aloud, and dismissal. I was doing read aloud immediately after recess, but it just wasn't working for us. Up above the board is where I hung up our multiples posters, and I may print out bigger ones, but they are already up there, so they are just going to stay. And I know they're not centered with the maps, they are centered with the board, but because the map's not centered, which drives me crazy, it's just none of it is centered, but it is what it is. Down here I have the Oh What Fun banner, and I picked this up from Target, also in the Target dollar spot. I found this around Christmas time. They just happen to have a bright fun color, so I grabbed it. Over here is where we have our hand signals in case they forget or I forget. This is where we do our quote of the week. This is where I share my lunch bunch. And then we have our focus wall. And this is where we have our math. I still need to put up our I can statements down here. But we have our unit question, our genre, conventions, comprehension skill, and our big unit question. And I picked up that border trim also from the Target dollar spot, and I created that focus banner. Also down here on the board, I completely forgot this. This was a clothespin like hanger from IKEA. I believe it's called the Torkus. Yes, it's called the Torkus. And I don't like things sitting on like I call it the chalk ledge, but like the dry eraser ledge. I don't like things sitting up there. So I keep them in the little basket there. And then this is my small group table, which is where I sit constantly. If I'm not sitting or standing on the table, I'm sitting back there working with kids. But back there I have a Sterilite bin, which has my social studies up on the top, and then ELA and math. And then here I have a container holding our Rainbow Shines Post-its and binder clips. That way I can just have quick things. And then this tennis ball is from when my dog came and hung out in my classroom. Over here is where I keep our leveled readers for our reading, our leveled readers for our reading curriculum. This is still trying to find its use, but right now it just stores scrap paper that the students are allowed to access right here. Geoboards have kind of made their home here. And then I have my bookcases. And all of these reading buddies are ones that I purchased. Most of them, honestly, are from when I was a child myself. I believe one of them was from when I was an infant. On the clock, I put some clock dots. That way it'll just assist them with time. And then we have a banner here. Going to fix this. We have a banner, which is also from the Target dollar spot. And then I made those read letters using the places you'll go. These two wooden chairs came from a side street trash pickup. They were put out in the trash, and I picked them because I liked them, and they are super cute. This chair is from Walmart. We have affectionately named him Big Joe since that is his name. And the pillow is, actually I don't know where it came from. One of the teachers was getting rid of it, so I grabbed it. And then this rug is from Rugs USA. It's a runner rug. Here is where my doorbell is. So on my lanyard, I have our doorbell, and that's how my kids know it is time to transition centers or anything like that. I don't use it as an attention getter. It is strictly for transitions. This container is housing bookmarks, but we are out and I still need to cut some more, and then some more reading buddies. And then over here, I have all of my plants, and I have a student that waters all of them. And she kind of covered up my M, but I do, on the weekends, I do close my shades because these, you can kind of see they're getting a little burnt, but I do, these are all partial shades. So, yeah. And then back there is a galvanized letter M for my last name, which is Moro, and I picked that up for like $1.25 at Hobby Lobby. This is, it's like an acrylic, but it's very thick. You can kind of see how thick it is. This is an acrylic thing that just says Miss Mara, best teacher ever. My sister got this for me for Christmas right before I went to Alaska, and I got it when I got back. This kind of matches my classroom theme with the teal, and I picked that up at Goodwill for $2. And then I have a picture of my doggies because they are my life. I have my laminator, which is normally down here on the shelf, but I was using it today. I have my teacher toolbox, which I do use quite frequently. And then these I don't use nearly as much as I should. They are my Monday through Friday bins. And then these are going to hold task cards. Over here we have a standing desk. This is normally out a little bit farther, but this is where students have the option of working, and I like that it has almost like a wheelie bar thing so they can kind of lean and work as needed. And then this is my student resource center. So anything that goes to me or the office goes in that bin. All of their finished work goes in there. Those are math workbooks. Our reading textbooks, that's like the 5.1 and 5.2, so that's the first unit and then the second unit. And then our social studies textbooks are down there, along with some more math resources and atlases. This is our homework board. So this is where I write all of our homework, and as you can see, we don't really have anything except scholastic order, and I didn't realize how like awfully written that was, but it is what it is. And then this is our jobs board, and again, I made that banner. I got the border trim on Amazon. The pails are from Oriental Trading, and then I created the little job, like little display thing, and I just put them up there with command hooks, and then I have their student number if that's their job. Over here I have my Smartboard, which I don't really use except to display things because my projector is hooked up to an Apple TV. So there's that, and I have some bright and colorful lights around it that are LEDs, and they are on all day every day. I do have a student that is in a wheelchair, and this is his stander. So this is something that he needs to be in for an hour and a half a day. This is our SOP board, which is standard operating procedures, and this is where I display our SOPs. So this is what they do when they come in the morning. That one is I'm finished now what SOP, so like for independent work, and then they have one for iPads. I am in the process of getting almost like a coat rack to hang these on, but until this desk is, or this table is removed from my classroom, that will not happen because it just takes up a lot of room. But this desk is on its way out, so I'm not even going to show you that because, like I said, it's going. This is the Student Supply Center. That sign and that pencil are both from Target Dollar Spot. I'm sure you're seeing a common theme here. And the pencil is from IKEA. Oh, and I also forgot to show you over here. Because I live on the coast of Maine where lobstering is pretty much like a giant way of life, I painted a buoy with the class colors and I hung it in the corner. And that paint is the same paint that was used on these two shelves. My principal picked them up at a school that was closing, and she let me do whatever I wanted with them. So I had a little fun and I painted it my mint color. And this is where all of their supplies go. So they have markers, pencils, their scissors, they have a place for homeless crayons in case the crayons don't make their way back into here, erasers and highlighters, colored pencils, their writing workshop folders, rulers, glue sponges, Legos, dictionaries, noise canceling headphones, and then obviously my Apple TV. And like I said, this desk is getting removed because we don't use it. I thought the kids would want to spread out more, but they are very accustomed to having their space, so they don't ever sit here. I think today and yesterday were the first 2 days anyone's ever sat here, and of course it's right after I asked to have it removed from my class. But back there are two different flexible seating options. They're like chairs with a back, so you can actually like sit on the ground and still have something to support yourself. And then these are their Cubbies. So these bins are, they're Storex. They're made by Storex, and I picked them up on Amazon, and those bins are their take-home bins. So anything that goes home goes in the bin. They are to clean them out each day. As you can see, not everyone follows directions, but that's okay. And I know that they are out of order, but my student that is in a wheelchair, we switched his bin. He was number 12. We put him close to the door, and that student graciously offered to go all the way back there. And then up here is where they display their work. So each student has a spot. And inside my cabinets, this one is home to all of our novels for novel studies and some extra bins that I have. Inside this cabinet are just a bunch of resources for our math curriculum and social studies curriculum. Some of these are very organized and some of them not so much. This is my cabinet for our reading curriculum. So these are all of our leveled readers. And then these are all of our teacher's manuals, unit manuals, focus wall posters, which I don't use, and vocabulary cards. This cabinet has some random science stuff up top, like so old that there's VHSs up there. These are their birthday gifts, so when they have a birthday, like I sent one home today, there's just a plastic straw in there, a reusable plastic straw, so all of you earth-loving people, don't kill me. They are reusable, and there's a couple pieces of candy. This is for my friends that don't bring snack habitually. I have some raisins, some Smart Food popcorn. Those are from when we did Say Fred. And then I have some bottles of water. This cabinet is somewhat organized, somewhat messy. I need to get more of these, but this is where I keep my sticky notes, extra pens, dry erase markers, pencils, crayons, and glue sticks. This is kind of like our community of supplies. However, my students do not have access to this, only I do. Up here is where I just keep random things that just keep getting thrown up here. And then that white box is another giant box of the markers that I showed you over at my supply center. This cabinet is just home to our indoor recess games. So my students know that they are allowed to access that. And then this is my favorite cabinet. These are my math manipulatives. I spent 8 hours organizing this this summer before I started, and as you can see, it's not completely done. There are some still without labels, but I have all of my fraction towers, my Unifix cubes, my color tiles, counters, dice, and then down here all of our different cards. So I have fraction cards, numeral cards. I think there's more numeral cards in there, and then I have tangrams are all in here. You can see them, they're all stacked in there. And then a 10 block sets and all that good stuff. But yeah, so that is my classroom in a nutshell. I'll do a quick pan for you. I do wish it was sunny because normally I don't even have to have the lights on. It's so bright in here with those windows. But this is the place I get to call home this year, and hopefully for quite a few years after this. But yeah, like I said, this is my classroom. It is lived in, it is loved, and it is not perfect. It is far from Pinterest perfect, but it's perfect for what I need and for what my students need, and to me, that's what matters most. But today is our Friday. We have a workshop day, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have not done so yet, be sure to hit subscribe. And if you have any recommendations or anything, please be sure to drop them in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in my next video.